Yo, what's good? It's your boy Jace with the vibe. Now let's vibe. So today I'm gonna do another story time video for y'all. I got one in the tuck. I'm finna release that. Be aware of it for tonight. I'm gonna just re-edit it, redo the video, but I'm gonna put that in tonight. But this video I'm gonna have come out Friday, so stay tuned. So this story time video is gonna be my first time going to the club experience. And this is like gonna be the good, the bad, the ugly. And there's a lot of events that went on that day. Like this is one of the craziest times where I said like I would never ever go back to a club again. Not just because I didn't have a good time, but also it was a lot of craziness going on. So, but I want everybody to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for all the people that subscribed so far. Try to get this up, as many likes as you can. I'm not putting a number out there yet. But yeah, keep and again, my Instagram is J_train 1999, Snapchat JSwift33. Yeah, give me ideas, videos y'all want to see, podcasts, lives. I do. I'll be on Facebook. I'll be on all different types of social media. Yeah, just show me love and support. Keep God first. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pray before I start, the video. Dear Lord, thank you for this blissful night. Please just bless over all the people that are sick and hurt. Please just let us decrease and increase in our lives. And please just let me do good in this video, Lord. In your name, amen. So, first time going to the club. I got the Cleveland jersey too. So, first time going to the club. I'm going to start back all the way from the beginning. So, this was 2018. This was in July. This like July 4th weekend. But I'm going to start from the very beginning of it. So this was during the time on my dad's side of the family, they usually do a family reunion. And I usually try to go every other year, every year. Like I went this year, but this was like 2018. So I was like getting done with school. Like I was out of school, graduated and everything. So I was getting there. My family, they swarmed me. Like, I saw my cousins, nieces, and then I saw everybody. But I just saw, like, a whole bunch of people. Like, I saw, like, my half-brother, everybody. So, and it was been a while since they seen me. Because every time I would try to go to the family reunion, it was always something that came up. Like, I was either out of town, had another reunion to go to, or it just didn't work out. I didn't know the times or the date. It was just all over the place. So 2018, I went. I was dripped up, dripped out. My uncle, drove me over there, took me over there. It's the time like I wasn't really driving like that. I was driving, but I don't think I had my car or something. So my uncle had drove me over there and everything. So I met up with my family. We talking. Everybody's asking how I'm doing in school. Congratulate me on graduating, what school I was gonna go to. This was during the time like when I was like getting ready to go to college and stuff, and like I was like getting ready to go up there. So, so this is like a time where everybody's turning up, eating, getting lit, taking pictures, praying. They do like passing out people that passing out like pictures and passing out stuff for gifts for people of the family that passed and to their kids and so on. So, along down the line, I chilled with my family that day. Probably like that afternoon all the way till the night, almost the next day. But that's neither here or there. So, this is during the time, like, I went after that, I was hanging out with my cousin Nene. We hung out, met her with her brother. We talked in a little while. I was hanging around her for the longest, So, I hang around her, we hung out. She made sure I was good, whatever. She ended up going somewhere else, so she dropped me off at Mary Lou house. That's my aunt. So I get over there, and this is like during the time where like I was that's basically family. That's my family. So I didn't really feel like calling Jason, my uncle, to like come pick me up. So I was coming like I was sitting at the house. I was like at the house and I was chilling. I was having a good time, so I was good. I was in good hands. So me, I'm like, you know what? I really don't feel like calling them. And she was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. Like, you tired, you can go and just sleep here and just call them in the morning. I was like, you, and she didn't care. So I was like, all right, cool. She had a little back room that I went to, like a back room. So I like laid down. I ain't like get fully in the bed, but I was like laying across it and I had my feet on the floor. So like I was laying. So like if I could show, I'm going to show an example. So like, when I laid across the bed, it was like the Superman. So I was laid like this, and my feet was on the floor. I don't get fully on the bed like that. So yeah, so I was laying like that. So then, while in the middle, I'm sleeping, I just hear like some music. I hear, doom, 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 doom. I'm like, and I'm thinking like I'm trying to sleep. I'm like, is this? I'm not listening to music in my dream. Like, no, I'm not tripping. So I'm listening. I'm like, somebody like in front of my aunt house, and they're blasting music. Like it was going crazy. So, I ended up waking back up. Mind you, I saw like my cousins and all of them. They was like on my aunt and all of them, whatever. So they was just like, some of them was like, oh, we finna go out here to this club. And my cousin from St. Louis, she was like, hey, Jeremiah, how are you? With who? She was like, we got to go to this club. Do you want to go? And then my other aunt, she asked me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go. Whatever. So, mind you, like, this is my first time going to the club. I ain't really think of it like, oh yeah, like I've been plenty of times, like, yeah, let's slide. Like, I was in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'll go, for sure. I was hesitant because I'm like, I don't know what they expect from going to a club. You know what I'm saying? So I went, and in my head, I'm just like, I hope they don't do nothing crazy. I hope nothing happen. And I hope they don't post nothing crazy while I'm there. Because, my mom, told me, she was like telling me, like, just be careful. Watch out for your surroundings. Like, don't do nothing you're not supposed, like the natural general mom thing. And she was just like, don't get peer pressure and like whatever. So I ended up telling him, I was like, boom, I'm scratching. Let me not skip too far. So I threw on my shoes. And mind you, I had on I ain't changed. I had the same clothes on. I ain't have no other extra clothes or nothing. I ain't go to my grandparents' house. I stayed with my family the whole day. So I had on like this green, it was like some type of green striped shirt. I had on this shirt with some khaki shorts, and I had on some Jordans. So I got in the car with my cousin. So it was me, her, some of my other family from like Pennsylvania or whatever, and we was going to the club. The club, it was called like, I forgot the name of it, but it was a club in Union City. And people like from around this area, around in Tennessee, like know the club name, like leave it in the comments, because I can't think of the name for nothing, because I only been there once. I think it was like something Slide or something. It was something. I can't think of the name of it. So we was driving. I'm sleeping on the way there because I was still kind of like tired because I've been out all day, hanging with family and all over. And, it was hot. In the summertime in Tennessee, it gets hot. So this is where this was crazy. So we got to the club. So mind you, everybody else is getting in there. You have to pay to get in the club, whatever. So they was like, oh, Jeremiah, you good? Do we need to pay for you? I'm like, no, I got my own money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a broke boy. You feel me? So I ain't super rich, but I ain't poor or nothing either. But I always keep money on me just in case. So I had to help my cousin out because he was on his crutches, but his legs were messed up. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to all my family. So I had to help him. I was helping him get out or whatever at the car. And I'm trying to think, like, we was kind of like, so I can't think of the club name for nothing. So it was already crowded, and it was like a weekend. I think it was like a Saturday. It was like something like that. It was like a Saturday or something like that. I think it was Saturday. So I was getting him out, got him, and then like getting in the club, it was like 30, 40. It was high. It wasn't super bad, but it was like, dang, like you gotta get it. This is how much it is to get in the club. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So got him in, got him situated. Boom, got him in there. I paid for my money to get in. So, get in the club. The club was, like, nice. It had, like, one part of the club was, like, you walk in. It had, like, one area where you go get drinks. Like, beer or whatever, alcohol. The other area was like the dance floor, the DJ, like sitting tables areas where you could sit down and vibe, and they had a little area where it's like a like what's it called? Like it's kind of like a booth where it's like you got the like chairs, you got the seating over here, and you could just sit. And then they had the back part of the club where you had pool tables where you can go play pool. So I walk in there, and I just remember like my other cousin, she come in there and she was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, I'm just chilling, having fun. And she didn't know. She thought like my mom. She was like, "Oh, your mama gonna whoop you," because, mind you, she was like, my mama. They talk. I guess she's, know how my mama is or whatever. But she was like, "Oh, your mama gonna get you this and that with." I'm like, "No, no, I'm good." Like, I'm about to just turn up. I'm like, "Hey, but they didn't know. Like, I already told my mom I was going. So, so then I saw somebody else, which I didn't really know them. I knew him. I didn't know him till later on. So she was like, "Oh, this and that with it." I'm like, they really got nothing to do with me, but my parent, what I'm saying, knows where I'm at. That's all that matters, and they cool with it. But the woman was trying to make it seem like I gotta check in or I gotta do this, and like she gonna like I was in that age. I'm like growing up. I was like, what I'm saying, getting up in age. So okay, so then I'll play pool for a little bit, just chilling, vibing, whatever, cool. I played maybe a game or so. I think I lost, whatever, cool. So I go back, and I just remember this is where it was starting to get lit. So I remember like I had the DJ. He was playing this song by Chris Brown. It was like like that song with Usher and stuff. I think it was like Party or something. I can't think of the name of it, but y'all probably know what I'm talking about. So the DJ played that. So all of a sudden, I started turning up. I'm like, "Oh snap! Okay, this is that song." So I started turning up, dancing, going crazy. So then, mind you, like, I'm gonna leave a thumbnail. Hold on. All right, so back to the story. So mind you, it was like it was crazy. Hold on, let me leave another one. All right, cool. So mind you, it was like a lot of people in the club. I had couples, had people, and then my family, they was over. Had family from St. Louis on one side, had family around the area, from different people. So I was cool. I was like, if anything was happening, I was good. So they were playing a song. I started dancing. Next thing you know, I see one of my cousins had her phone out with the flash on it. So I'm just thinking in my head, I ain't think about it then, but in my head, I'm just like, "Oh my God, she finna, I hope nobody do nothing crazy in the middle of the video, and you see me, all got the flash on, you see me." So I started dancing, I was hitting them folks, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. So everybody was like, "Hey, hey, turn up." They was like, "Hey, turn up." The DJ was telling me, like, hype me up. Turn up, turn up, turn up. And I was like going crazy. I was like dancing, I had sweats, I was going crazy. So then, like, my cousin, he got in the video. He was like dancing too. So I was like turned. So then, that was by the time like I really dance though. So that was by that time. Right after that, they put on like a little slow jam. The DJ did, and I remember like he put on a slow jam. Almost everybody in there like had like a person. They was like in So I was by myself. I ain't had like a girl or nothing. So I'm just like chilling, staying, watching everybody, chilling, dance. My family, they sitting there chilling, talking, mingling, talking. They probably females, whatever, whoever, and they probably slumped. Some of my family was slumped in the club, so they know who they are. Shout out to them. But so this is where this gets me every time because it was weird. So. Oh man, this is crazy. Every time I think about this part, it gets me because it was weird. This is my like one time I said I would not go back to the club. So it was this one time. It was like I was standing there, and this old woman, I don't know where she came from. She was at least in her, let me try to say her 60s or 70s. Why she in the club? I don't know. Because mainly people I seen was like probably some people that was like I had a tongue twister, around my age. And it was people that was probably like 30s, 40s, whatever. But I didn't expect this woman to come out. So she come out from the back. So I'm standing there, like chilling, like vibing, listening to music, whatever. So the woman come from the behind me. So she was like, hey. So she touched my shoulder. So I'm trying to see who it is. I'm like doing like the little smoke, like on my shoulder, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like looking. So she come around. She was like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm being respectful. My mom, my grandma, rest in peace. And they always told me to be respectful. Like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. So I just remember, like, the woman was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good, but you, da-da-da. It was loud in the club, so I barely could hear. I could hear, but I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, she was like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good. And she was like, So she said, but it wasn't like no, like the little stank, It was like checking you out type. So I'm just like, okay, I hope this woman's not trying to check me out and flirt with me. So the woman say, but she walks around me twice. She walks around me twice and was like, oh, I like him young and I like him tall. So I'm standing there, I'm just like, oh no, like this ain't that type of party. Like, I'll be chilling with my family. And I'm like, I kind of say like a excuse like, oh, like my girlfriend right over there. So like, in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, cool. I'm thinking in my head, so I ended up saying it later on. So like, another song played. She tried to like dance up on me, this and that. So I like did like spin move. I swerved around and like did a football move. I'm like, oh, my girlfriend right over there. So I swerved, like got out of the way, and they was like, bro, like you good? Like what's going on? I'm like, this old woman just tried to flirt with me, and this and that with the whoop and try to dance up on me. And so they like some of my family was like, oh no, they were laughing. And I'm like, bro, like this is ridiculous. I got turned lit. It was fun. I was dancing. I ain't do nothing crazy, but I was dancing, have fun. And then this old woman coming out of nowhere. I was like, man, I was like, all right, whatever. So then I had to help my cousin that's, crippled or whatever. I had to help him back out. So I let him outside, give him some air, let him breathe. This is like before the times of before times of COVID. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So, gotta let him outside to breathe. All right, cool. So then I'm getting him to the car or whatever. I'm starting to get him to the car, and everybody's like getting to the car. So all of a sudden, I'm trying to get him in, and I hear some commotion. So I hear, boom, like somebody get slapped or punched. So I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at my surroundings, because I'm like, bro, I'm like in Union City, but I'm like, being from 901, being from Memphis, you always got to be on the lookout, because you don't know what can happen. So I heard, boom, what's going on? Hey, what y'all doing? Blah, blah, blah. So then I hurry up, put my cousin in the car. I'm like trying to make sure I'm alert. So I look, it's two of my family members. They were drunk. They were drunk out their mind, but they ended up fighting. So I'm like, oh shoot, like they fighting. So I see the dude, I ain't gonna say no names, but they got the fighting. It was the dude and the girl, whatever. So then I hurry up and get him in the car. My cousin put his crutches on. I'm like, bro, if somebody come up here, some nonsense, it ain't gonna be it. They ain't that type of party. Like, I'm surrounded by family, but I can fight, if I need to. So then I try to get them in the car. Then like my cousin, I rolled with her. So then one of my family members, rest in peace to him, had passed. So he was with some woman, they in there, and they all got crowded. So I'm like, dang, so I gotta ride with somebody else. So my cousin, she told my other cousin, like, hey, Jeremiah gonna have to ride with you, with the whoop. So he's like, all right, I got him. I got my cousin. I got him. I got a little cousin. Whatever. So they started fighting, commoding, whatever. So I'm like, oh, shoot, let me just make sure I stay out of Dodge, whatever. So then, then it gets to a point where, like, the girl, she gets in the car with my cousin from St. Louis. So as soon as they try to get in the car, they got in there. The dude, they trying to call him, the male dude that, but he walks over there. He's like, nah, beat that. And he cousin going crazy. And then he opens the door. Boom. Like, he opens the door like aggressive and try to hit her again. He hit her, this and that, through her shoe. Me is like, I'm being on alert. I'm like, no, I ain't gonna try to break it up, because if I try to break it up, then if I get hit, it's gonna be on. So I kind of like I close the door. I try to close the door. So my cousin, I ain't get near him like close. I was like, so I stayed back. So my cousin went, no, I got it. So I didn't get close up on him. So my cousin pulled him back off and he threw her shoe over. So they was like, man, don't worry about that. He threw a shoe. So I'm trying to help her find it. You know, being a gentleman, that's my cousin. Like, I don't like when dudes put their hands on women. So I'm like, let me help her out. So then I try to help her. And he was like, man, don't worry about that. Like, you can get you another shoe. Like, come on, get out of here before you get serious, get worse. So me, I'm just like, all right, cool. Let me find my ride. Let me find the homie. So the dude, like my cousin, he was talking to some people before then. We was talking, mingling. He saw some people I knew, and I answered like, hey, yo, what's up? What's good? Like, you know, it's people like, you know, they probably like, you know, up caliber, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just being, you know, how I know, like, not being too crazy. I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, what's good? Like, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So when it started getting crazy, my cousin, he was like, then the dad got crazy. It was people, they were drunk. They was drunk out their mind. So then my cousin was like, bro, come on. He's like, hey, Jamal, come on, let's go. And like he told his homeboy, the homeboy was talking to the girl, to my cousin. So like they was like, I guess, I don't know. I don't know the dude. He knew like I think part of like my family. And he was cool with my cousin. So he was like talking to her. I guess they were together. I don't know what it was. But he was trying to comfort her this and that. So my cousin was like, hey, y'all better come on before it get crazy over here. Cause come on before y'all get left. So I was like, shoot, you ain't gotta tell me twice. So I, get to the car. So I'm like, ain't nothing finna happen to me tonight. Like, this night been crazy. I had a good time, bad time, worst time. Had a woman try to flirt with me. Then I had this going. I said, oh, no. I said, let me go and get in the car. I got in the car. This is how it gets even crazier. Well, I get in the car, and it was, I don't even know what time it was. They got in the car, you know, they was talking about the stuff, as you know, talking about everything, whatever. So my cousin's driving, I'm in the back by myself, and his homie in the passenger seat. So they talking this and that. My cousin got food, whatever, and they went to this hotel. So they was talking. He was like, man, he did that. They already had beef. They was talking like about the stuff that was going on. Excuse me. The stuff that was going on. Well, he was like, oh man, they already had beef. They was this and that. He said, she said, like all that stuff. Me, I'm listening. So then it started getting intense between them two. And my cousin, who was like, oh, I'm going to do this to you. I ain't going to say what he did, but he was like, man, I'll do this to you. Da-da-da. I don't fight. I don't do. Like, he was saying all that. Like, this how I was getting crazy. So I got out the car because I was on the phone. I was calling Jason because I'm like, because this stuff happened so fast. So I called Jason. That's my uncle. I called him. I'm like, hey, like, bro, you going to probably have to come pick me up or hey, I'm just letting you, you might have to come get me or whatever. And he was like, yo, what's good? What's going on? So I told him, like, some of my family got to fight. So he thought something happened to me or something happened. Or I got jumped or he thought something happened to me. I don't know why he thought that, but I said the people's name, what happened. So he was like, oh, shoot, let me hurry up and get up there. Are you straight? You good? I'm like, no. I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm like, with such and such right now at the hotel because, you know, I ended up getting put out, got put out of the spot who I rode with. And I had to end up riding here because everything was getting too crazy. So he was, oh, you made me jump out the bed. I thought something was wrong. So he was really ready. He was like ready for whatever. Salute to him. So, salute to my uncle. So, boom. So then we get to we was still at the hotel. So they had that little commotion, then died down, whatever. So then we ended up seeing the cousin that actually like put his hands on my other cousin or whatever. So we go to the hotel. We even know like we was going to his room. I didn't know. So like they were talking about it. Like, man, this and that. We're trying to get him. He was calm. He was like, man, I'm gonna get my this and that to jump on her and this, like all that type stuff. Like when we go to St. Louis, all that. So it was just wild. So he was like talking about it. They were calming him down. He was like, oh, I appreciate you looking out. Make sure everything was crazy, whatever. And he was like, dap me up. He hold me up. They was like, oh, who is it? They was like, oh, this such and such a boy. He this and that, whoop whoop. So they had the girls in there, whatever. Cool. So then he was like, they was like, man, it could have really went down. And then he was like, oh man, she scratched my face, this and that. Oh, I'm finna have my daughters and this, and to jump on her. I'm finna get them, beat her, whatever when we get back. So Then, my cousin, he was talking to his girl. He started talking to his girl wild, and she was all mad. He was like, man, I'll do this to her. I'll this and that. So I'm just like, bro, like, what's going on? Like, everybody's all hostile. When they're putting their hands on the women. And then I'm like, bro, this too much. Then people fighting, and it's too much. So then we get in the car. So it was like, they end up, I guess something happened with his girl. Oh, let me stop. They got, like, retract, like, backtrack. So his girl and her, I guess the dude, the female, I don't know who it was, they end up getting pulled over, whatever. So they end up showing up to the hotel, but something happened. So boom. So we sitting there chilling. They end up talking, whatever, doing their thing, chilling. I'm like just sitting there, mind my business. They vibing, doing they got to do grown folk stuff. So then, that's by that time, we get ready to leave. So he was talking to his girl wild and say he would do this to her, like, stop playing on me. Like, he was talking like that. So it was me, my cousin girl, him, and a homeboy. So I think they ended up dropping a homeboy off. He ended up dropping his homeboy off, I think. Oh, it was like late. It was like the morning time. It was like probably 1, 2 something, 3 something. It was like around there. So we didn't end up getting to his mom's house till like, you know what I'm saying, till like 4 or 5 in the morning. So it was like it was probably about 5 or 6 in the morning. It was like late. Like, it was so late because it was morning time. The sun was out. That's how I know it was morning time. It was like early in the morning. So, boom. So we got to over there, and I told my uncle, I'm like, hey, like, you gonna have to come over. Like, I'm over here in Kenton at this place, da-da-da. Like, hey, you can come on and get me. So, boom. So, literally, like, I was like, my cousin, he laid down, you know what I'm saying, with his, or whatever, he laid down. I was like kind of almost asleep. So, his mom looking at me, like, she's family too. So she looking at me like, oh, like my cousin, whatever. Like, his mom looking at me like, oh, like, what y'all do? And I was like, I'm just went out, had fun. I ain't do nothing crazy. But she looked like, But she did the, like, like, let me find out you did something type so I could tell your mama or whatever. Even though I ain't do nothing, like I said, I ain't do nothing crazy. So, boom. He ended up picking me up. Like, he picked me up. He was like, man, you good? Like, what happened? I literally told him, like, oh, what happened? And, like, bro, he was like, man, that's crazy. I'm glad you good and you straight. He was like, man, you literally, I thought something happened to you. I thought you got in a fight or you got jumped on and this happened. He said, man, you made me jump up out the bed, throw clothes on, and made me get, you know what I'm saying, something, that make sure you straight. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Nothing happened to me. So I finally got to my grandparents' house. So me getting to my grandparents' house, I was tired. I was exhausted. All the above, I was tired. So by that time, I got there. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm gonna rest. So I literally that day, they was doing a part 2 to it. I'm like, nah, ain't finna catch me there. I'm finna get some sleep, get some Z's. I ain't get up until probably 12 or 1. So it was probably like afternoon. And my uncle had made some food. He was like, hey, I made some food. You come in here, you get you something to eat. So my body was so drained, so tired because I never really went to no club. It was like my first time going to the club. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, in the house, I'm like, boy, like, I'm never doing that again. Like, my body was drained. So, yeah, so that's the end of this story time. I hope everybody like it. Like I said, I hope y'all, show support, show love, like, comment, subscribe. And the YouTube name is J Swift the Vibe, capital J, and then Swift, capital S, WIFT, space, the vibe, y'all know. So y'all, people that subscribe to me, I appreciate y'all. Y'all get y'all friends to subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I'm gonna try to, like, let me know if y'all know some people that do good for intro songs, that's good with cover arts and stuff like that. So, cause I'm trying to get some intro, outro music and out to the videos. So it's your boy J Swift, the vibe. Now let's vibe. And I hope everybody have a great night. And I hope y'all have a great week. Be safe out here. Stay, wash your hands. Stay masked up because the corona's still out. And y'all be careful because there's people dying left and right nowadays. So be careful. Watch your surroundings. And yeah, be easy. I love y'all. And again, I thank y'all and appreciate y'all. more videos to come. And if am I forgetting something? Oh, and yeah, like y'all like go on my DM. Like I said, J underscore train 1999. You ain't got to capitalize the J of the train, just underscore train 1999. J Swift 33. JAYSWIFT 33. Facebook, it should be like Jeremiah Swift or Jeremiah Swift. Whatever, y'all use. And I think Twitter is Jeremiah Swift too. Yeah, just y'all leave like some ideas of what y'all might want to see on the channel. Cause I'm gonna try to do, like I said, battle rap videos. I'm gonna watch a battle rap battle tonight. I'm watching battle tonight and try to recap the battle tonight. Cause I'm waiting till the super fight card comes so I could do my predictions. Cause they released Ace Amin Cortez, but I've heard so much stuff about it. So I'm gonna watch the Danny Myers and Jay the Nightwing. I'm gonna break that down, give who I thought won. You know what I'm saying, and then do the Ace Amin Cortez. Boom. Now I got the other story time in the tuck, so y'all gonna get quite a bit of videos coming in. So yeah, y'all just stick with me. I'm starting from the bottom to get up to the top. So yeah, y'all just stay with me, support me, and yeah, I love y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.